there's plenty of ways to make extra income for yourself in the stock market. You could go ahead and get some passive income from dividends. You can go ahead and play some options and maybe do some covered calls. You can get your income from natural share price growth. For instance, you buy Apple at $100 and you sell Apple at $200. You could do some swing trading in the stock market. Maybe perhaps you bought WWE right before the last year and you sold it around this time. That's a cool swing trade that you could have made a nice profit from. Or day trading and other options as well. It's tons of options out here to make yourself some extra money when it comes to the stock market. And yet another way to make some extra income in the stock market, at least from the Robinhood platform in particular, is the stock lending program on the Robinhood platform. So in today's video, I'm going to go all over the stock lending platform on Robinhood, show you guys everything that's about, show you guys how much money I've made from it personally since I've been using it for about a month and a half, almost 2 months now. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into this video. Let's go. If you haven't seen my videos before, my name is Dollar Mike and I make personal finance content here on YouTube for you. So that means saving your money, investing your money, budgeting, credit cards, cryptocurrency. It's all covered right here on Dollar Mike. So if you're interested in topics like that, stuff like that, then definitely hit a like on this video to see more content like it and subscribe to see more content like it as well, because I'll continue to make the content. Either way, let's talk about the stock lending program on Robinhood. And I'm going to open up my Robinhood app to show you guys that, because they give you a pretty decent understanding of what exactly it is. And then I'll go over my thoughts about it, what I've known about it, everything like that. And also how much I've made from the stock lending program myself since I've been using it. So we're here on the Robinhood app and here is stock lending. It says you can earn extra income on your portfolio. You get the opportunity to earn income on stocks you already own just by turning on stock lending. We work to find you borrowers and get you paid when there is a match. Go ahead and click continue, and with that we got the stock lending. Leave it to us. We do all the work finding borrowers and lending out shares from your portfolio, and you can earn interest from that. Receive automatic monthly payments for any loaned out shares. Cool stuff. You can trade with no restrictions, so you can still sell those shares at any given time and realize those gains or losses depending on what type of stocks you hold, what type of shares you hold. Is there a gain? Is there a loss? You'll realize that if you want to go ahead and sell that particular asset in case you don't want to hold on to it. So your shares aren't locked up in any way. They can show you how much you could potentially make. Obviously, this is just an example, so take with it with a grain of salt. Pretty much how much you can make, $150 on annual earnings. That's assuming that you had $10,000 on loan, which is pretty much saying that you might have $10,000 invested in a single stock. So let's say, for example, you had $10,000 invested into Apple. Maybe they take your Apple stock and lend it out to other people. And by then, you go ahead and get a 1.5% lending rate, interest rate, which could also change depending on what's going on in market conditions. So you can make a little bit more than this, a little bit less than this, but overall, this is just an example. Past that, they have the what else should I know screen. On the what else should I know screen, it says only stocks on loan earn income. So that means you do not earn income on all the stocks in your portfolio. If you guys have seen my portfolio before, I have a little bit over 25 stocks in my portfolio, and I don't earn income on every single one of those stocks in my portfolio. It's possible, but that simply just isn't the case right now. It says we can't guarantee that we'll find borrowers for your portfolio. So some stocks or some shares that you may own, they may have a borrower for, and other shares they may not. Apple and Microsoft, I have both of those stocks in my portfolio, but they haven't found any borrowers for those particular stocks. So I wouldn't receive any extra income just for having them lend those stocks out, because no one's really looking for it. Simple as that. Past that though, we have dividends. Dividends right here, it says dividends are paid out differently. So check with your tax professional to find out if this is the best thing for you, because if dividends are paid out differently and you're receiving a lot of dividend income, that may be a downfall on your part that you might not want to partake in. But if you're receiving a lot of dividends, then you're probably not going to be bothered with this anyway, but maybe you want to just check it out just in case. Either way, it says dividends earned by stocks are on loan, are paid as cash, and may be taxed differently than typical dividend payments, like I just mentioned. Past that, we have shareholder voting rights, so those rights are modified, so you won't be able to vote on proposals like board of director appointments or for a company when your shares are on loan. Past that, we have you're protected with cash collateral instead of SIPC insurance. We use cash collateral to protect your loan stocks. Simple enough. Past that, we have note on margin enabled customers. If you guys aren't aware of what margin is, it's essentially when you go ahead and you go out and borrow money from Robinhood to go and invest into your stocks in your portfolio that you want to use to make more money from that borrowed money that you just used. So you can go ahead and borrow $10,000 from Robinhood, put it into your Robinhood portfolio, and then use that money to go and buy stocks and pretty much make extra money on top of the money you already make. As long as you pay Robinhood back, you're all good to go. And you can't even use the stock lending program unless your margin balance is covered. If your margin balance is not covered, sure, you can have stock lending enabled, but you will not make any extra income by having this enabled, because technically that's not your money or your shares anyway, because you borrowed that money. So once that margin balance is paid back, you're good to go. But before then, no. Now, over the past 2 months of me using the stock lending program on Robinhood, I pretty much noticed two separate things that I want to talk about right here. The first thing I noticed was stocks that are in my particular portfolio, typically stocks that aren't doing well, were the ones that got entered into the stock lending program. Now, this makes a lot of sense because for the stock lending program, simply put, people are going out and possibly short selling some of these stocks. So if you guys don't know what short selling means, essentially the person that's doing the short selling is betting that the stock price will fall. So it makes a lot of sense why someone might be borrowing those stocks, because they're planning on the stock price falling, and by planning on the stock price falling, they're betting against the stock. Therefore, they need that underlying asset when it comes to options that they might be playing on that particular stock. So all they're doing is betting that the stock price will fall. So most of the stocks that I've seen in my personal portfolio aren't doing pretty well or on the stock lending program. So that means I'm making passive income from those particular stocks, even though they're going down in value over time from what it looks like. Like I said, it's because people are betting that the stock price will continue to go down. So they're borrowing those shares pretty much to overall hedge against their overall own investment. The second thing I noticed was actually something I mentioned before, and it was regarding the dividend. If you are a huge dividend investor, now mind you, I am a dividend investor myself. I invest in a lot of different dividend stocks. I receive dividend income every single month. Definitely check those videos out. It'll be linked right up there. If you're a huge dividend investor, then this is likely not for you. And I want to explain that really quick. And that is because if you have thousands of dollars in passive income coming from dividends that you might receive every single month or every single quarter, and you go ahead and mess up your dividend income by receiving cash instead of that dividend income, then you could be taxed completely separately. You could be taxed at your highest tax bracket versus being taxed at something a little bit lower for a qualified dividend, because you're receiving cash instead of a qualified dividend now if you have those stocks on loan. So it is something to think about, and I would pretty much recommend you to go ahead and talk to your tax professional about that, whether you think that's a great idea, a good idea, bad idea. That's personally up to you, personally up to your investing strategy, your investing journey. I'm not sure how your dividend portfolio goes. I'm not sure how much passive income you're receiving, but as my personal recommendation, you know, I'm not a tax professional, but as my personal recommendation, if you're receiving well over $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in dividend income every single year, and you have that mainly as your Robinhood portfolio, and you have your stocks on loan, I'll probably turn the stock lending program off for that reason alone, just because you're going to get taxed in a higher bracket. Why be taxed on the same money that you're receiving at a higher bracket? You might as well get taxed at the least amount of money to be taxed at, so that way you don't have to pay that money back come the end of the year or the end of the tax season. So that's just the two things. That's just what I want to get out the way. Now, how much money have I actually received from the stock lending program since I've been pretty much in it for the past 2 months? If we go back on in, I received a whopping 46 cents so far, and right now I still have two stocks or two different companies on loan right now. I have 47 shares of B&G Foods and another 5 shares of Coinbase. Now, mind you, we go ahead and click on B&G Foods. I'm down in B&G Foods about 17%, and I have about 52 shares. So almost all my shares in B&G Foods are taken up right now. And we go ahead and look at Coinbase. Same thing goes here. Coinbase is down huge in my portfolio. Overall, $48.30 a share right now. I'm down about 81% with Coinbase, and I have about 6 shares of Coinbase as well. So both of these stocks, like I said, they're likely being short sold, I guess you could say, right now. So a lot of investors are likely placing bets on these two particular stocks that they're going to continue to fall in the near term. That means those investors need to lend that out if they want to play options on that, and therefore the stock lending program makes a lot of sense. So I'm making income, passive income, on those two particular stocks. Now, how much of an interest rate am I receiving on all those shares that's being lent out? I won't find out until the end of the month, because this is paid out to me, paid out to the portfolio once every single month. So just want to put that out there. That is an option for you, and that's pretty much it. It's not that much money, but like I said, it depends on how many shares you have. So let's say if I had 10,000 shares of B&G Foods, it might make a huge difference as far as how much extra income I'm receiving on top of receiving that cash in lieu benefit of a dividend. So Coinbase doesn't pay a dividend, so I don't have to worry about that, but I still could be receiving a lot more passive income just for having my shares loaned out. And on top of that, like I said, I can still sell these shares at any given time for a gain or a loss, depending on what my portfolio position is pretty much at. So I think it's pretty solid for that reason alone, but it's not for everyone. So is it exactly worth it? For the extra income alone, I don't see too much harm unless you're investing into those dividend stocks, because you're going to make way more money off of those dividends than you'll likely ever make off the stock lending program. You'll also likely make way more money from the stock price going up versus having your stocks lent on this program as well. So if you're just investing into regular stocks that don't pay a dividend and you can collect some extra income from it, I don't see any issue with it. I don't see any big deal. But like I said before, if you're a huge dividend investor and you're receiving a lot of passive income when it comes to dividends, then I would probably stay clear from this, just because you don't want to mess that up come tax season, because there's no reason to pay any more money than you already have to, because taxes are already ridiculous anyway. This stock lending program is cool. You can receive some extra income. Will you become rich from it? Absolutely not. And if you are making a significant amount of money from the stock lending program, then you probably already have a lot of money anyway. You probably have $1, $2, maybe $3 million in your investment portfolio to even see a couple of $1,000s extra every single month in stock lending. And by that point, what does it matter? Personally, I don't think it matters if you already have a couple million in your account. I don't think a couple of extra $1,000s is going to make a difference, but to each their own. So there you guys go. That is stock lending. That's how much I made from it. Next month, I should make a little bit more, because those loans, or those loans out for BNG and Coinbase have been out for about a month now. So I think I'll make more this coming month, but maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll make a couple of bucks. It'd be great. But I have $33,000 in my account, so a couple of bucks, the balance doesn't really add up. Not really. But overall, I'm not really losing anything in this particular asset either. So why not? I got it turned on for right now. You can turn it on if you want to. It's personally up to you. Of course, do your own research on it as well. And that's pretty much it. All in all, your results may vary. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know down in the comment section below regarding the stock lending program. If you want to see other content, like other Robinhood content, let me know. Stock analysis, anything like that, let me know down in the comment section below. And other personal finance videos that you may be interested, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, check out those links down there, because those links down there will get you some free stocks, some free cryptocurrency if you're interested in that. $40 off a Seeking Alpha premium membership. An excellent website that I'll continue to talk about, as they're a new channel partner. And on top of that, they actually offer a lot to go forward on your investing journey. So either way, check all that information out. It'll all be linked down below in the description. And that's pretty much it. I'm out. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay positive. Dollar Mike. Peace.